Hi, welcome to the training. My name is Singh. Today I'll be covering the blackjack card counting marble theory. Okay, so I designed this for brand new casino agents when I'm training them on card counting. Okay, so if you're not in the casino industry and you are a player, you will pretty much learn the same thing here. Okay, so I will be discussing about card counting and how it works, why it is effective, and why advantage players and skill players use card counting and blackjack. Okay, so before we get into the training, I'll cover one important aspects of this. Okay, I'll define the word gambling. In gambling, you have to remember this to be either successful or aware of what it can cause. In gambling, there are winners and losers. You have to remember that. Okay. And one of the tips that I always give new trainees is that only gamble what you are willing to part with. Okay, so if you can't part with much, don't gamble more than what you are willing to part with. You know, if you have rent that's coming up or a mortgage, don't gamble that away. Okay, just a little word of wisdom there to follow. All right, so in this diagram here, we're going to pretend that this circle here is a bag, and it holds some marbles here. You can see we have 4 blue marbles and 4 red marbles. So there's 8 in total here. Now we're gonna play a guessing game here. Okay, we're gonna put out a wager. We're gonna guess a color, and the dealer's gonna randomly pull a marble out. If we guess the color correctly, then we win. Okay, if we guess it wrong, then we lose. Okay, so in this training here, we're gonna say that these blue marbles here, they represent low cards, and these red ones here, they represent high card. So you can see in my diagram here, low cards are considered 2s, 3s, 4s, 5, and 6. We're gonna ignore these 7, 8, and 9s. Okay, those are considered neutral cards, but we won't include those here. And the high card, which are the red marbles, they are the 10s, jacks, queens, kings, and aces. Okay, you can see that there's 5 of each. This is what is called a balanced count system. Okay, so a balanced count system. You'll learn that in the more advanced card counting training modules, but in this very basic one, this is referred to as a balanced count system. Okay, some people could refer to this as the plus minus count system or the reverse count system. So let's start this game off here. Okay, we put out a wager here. Okay, $5. Okay, and we pick a color. From this diagram here, you can see that it's a 50-50 chance without doing any kind of math at all. Okay, it's a 50-50 chance, regardless of what you pick, either red or blue. Okay, so we'll pick red. Dealer reaches inside the bag, pulls out a marble, and it is a blue one, and we lose. Okay, we'll go to round 2 here. We'll wager $5 again. Okay, what is left inside the bag is what is still left in play. We can see that one of the blue marble has been drawn out already. Okay, that's out of play. Okay. In the mathematical term, this is what is called sampling without replacement. Okay. You can ignore this part here because if you are not a mathematician, this tells us here on this diagram here that chances of getting a red is a little bit more than the blue. We're just using basic logic here. Okay. No difficult math at all. Round 2 here, we'll place a wager of $5, and we will pick red. It's pretty obvious there's just more red, so you have a better chance. Dealer reaches in, pulls out another marble. It's a blue one. We lose again. Okay. We'll go to round 3. We increase our wager to 10. Why do we increase our wager to 10 now? Okay. This is one of the main question here. Okay. One of the reasons is that there are twice as many reds as blues now. Okay, these are still in play. These out here are out of play. Okay, so you have a much better chance of drawing the red marble. And there's a lot of them left in there. Okay. If you know that, it'll be in your advantage to increase the wager. So here, dealer asks us, what do you want to, what color? We're going to choose red again. Dealer's going to reach inside the bag, pulls out a marble. It's another blue, and we lose. Okay. We'll go to round 4 here. We increase our wager to 20. Now, the question is, why do we increase our wager? We haven't been winning at all. Okay. Well, if you look at what is left in play, we have, there's 4 times the amount of red marbles compared to blue marbles. Okay. Dealer asks us, well, what color do we want to pick? Definitely red. Okay, without doing any math or without comparing proportions or probabilities. If you look at the bag, you know that chances are you have a better chance at picking a red. Okay, that's the odds there. So dealer reaches in, picks out a marble. It's a red marble. We win. Okay. We'll go to the other round here. Okay. The next round, we wager 20 bucks. Why do we still wager 20 bucks? It's compared to when we first started with 5. There is 3 times the amount of reds compared to blue here. Okay. So chances are, more than likely, it's going to be a red marble that comes out. Now, you have to understand this here. In blackjack, say you're sitting at a blackjack table and they're inside the shoe game, there's 6 decks of cards. Okay, so at the casino they can play 1 deck, 6 decks, 8 decks, and so forth. Okay? If you're playing on the table game with 6 decks, they never really play to the end of the last card. And this is one of the reasons why, because if they do and people were tracking the cards, what came out of play and what's still in play, they're gonna pretty much figure out what that last card is. Okay, so they always cut about a deck off at the end of the 6 deck shoe with the cut card. Okay, so when they get to that, it is time to reshuffle. Okay. So that is the same gameplay as here. Okay. So in this round, we're going to keep it at 20, and we fluctuate our wagers. Okay, as we know what kind of marbles are more likely to come out. Okay, and we pick red, of course. So the dealer reaches into the bag, picks a marble, and picks out a blue instead of the red. Okay. And we lose. Okay. Now, if we were to play one more round here, okay, we would increase our wager, and we would pretty much bet the farm on it. Why? Because we know that there's only reds left. That is a for sure. But when there were only that last blue was in here, that is not a for sure. Okay, so you have to grasp the concept here. Okay, you could feel it inside yourself that more than likely it's going to be a red, but there is still that one small chance that you can still lose. And this is in blackjack, when even in card counting, you can still lose. It's not a for sure. Okay, so part of playing blackjack is also discipline. Okay, knowing when you have that good feeling when the count is very high, or there's a lot of reds left in there, um, you don't want to go all out. Be very disciplined when you play. Okay. So in this last round here, we're gonna bet the farm, and we're gonna say it's gonna be a red marble. Dealer reaches in the bag, pulls out a random marble, and guess what? It is red, and we win. Okay. So this is called the marble theory. It is used to explain how card counting works, the benefits of it, some of the advantages. You know, if you know that there's a lot of high cards or red marbles left, that tells you a lot of things. Okay, that tells you what the next card might be. It can also tell you what the dealer's whole card might be as well. So in the game of blackjack, the dealer usually shows you a up card. Okay, but they put another card face down under that card. That is called a whole card. Okay, so if you're card counting, you could kind of estimate the probability of what that bottom card that you don't see it. So, for example, if the dealer is holding, showing a 3 as their up card, and they have another card underneath of that 3, that is the whole card. If the count is very high and there's a lot of red marbles left, you could almost determine that more than likely it's going to be a high card or a high value card under that card, such as a 10, jack, queen, king, or ace. Okay, that tells you one thing: the dealer might have a stiff 13 hand. Okay, it also tells you what the next card coming in play might be as well. So if you have a 14, you might not want to take that hit card. It could be a 10 and bust your hand. Okay, so remember this. This is the very basic idea of card counting. It is called the marble theory. I designed this a long time ago for when I was training the casino employees on learning card counting. Okay, and as always, remember in gambling there are winners and losers. Okay, and only gamble with what you are willing to part with. If you can remember this, you will be a very responsible player. Okay. And that, I hope you learned something from this. I hope this really helps you understand card counting. I know it from the um, not in the industry, but for private players, they don't really get this kind of training, so they just jump right into card counting. This is how you do it. This is how it works, but they don't understand the concepts, the core basic concept of it. So this is kind of like the additions and subtraction in when you're learning mathematics. Okay, the very basic foundation of it. Okay, so I hope this helps you. I hope you found this interesting, and I wish you the best. I'll catch you in the next one.